I'm Maria Menounos, and you're tuned in to AfterBuzz TV, the ESPN of TV talk. Now, let the buzz begin.
Hi guys, and welcome to AfterBuzz's
Hey guys.
Real Housewives of Atlanta After Show. I'm your host Hollywood Leon. We're quarantined at home, but I got my girls with me as always. Erica Edwards.
What's up, party people?
And the Danny B. I'm Oprah tonight.
Hey guys.
Coming in with that gold background. I like that. That's fancy. You fancy.
Exactly. Oh.
We are missing Drew. She's at home. She doesn't feel good, so we're sending her speedy recovery vibes. Let's get into this. We have a lot to talk about. We're coming home from Greece. That's what's happening. We're coming home from Greece, and we open up with Gregg and Nene, and she's giving him the tea. And he's just saying, "Oh, you gave her an olive branch. You gave her all of this. Move on." It's gonna be a heavy Kenya episode. I could tell already. I feel like let's take a little bit of Gregg's advice. He's like, move on, who cares? I kind of feel the same way. Then Kandi is going to go to Chicago for 10 weeks, and this is going to be something else that we're going to talk about throughout the episode as well. She's going to be leaving for 10 weeks. Is that a good idea? I'm not sure. 10 weeks, that tells me, though, it's a pretty juicy part. As someone in the industry, as an actor, if I got booked for 10 weeks in a different state.
Yeah, I mean, I actually was on the after show for The Shy, and the role that she's playing is an ex of like the head villain. So she does have a good part from what I've heard. So
she got a good role.
Have you seen it?
I haven't. I'm not sure when it comes. It hasn't come back. It hasn't aired yet. It's not back on. But from the last season, I heard they had a lot of shakeup in the cast. So she's one of the new add-ons, and so she'll be hot. I think. I hope.
I'm excited about it. What did you guys think about just the beginning part of this episode? We're introducing, the family back in. So it was nice to see Gregg. What do you guys think about this introduction with Gregg and Nene setting the precedent for the entire episode and the Kandi thing? This is kind of like what we're going to be talking about for the entire episode because it comes up a lot. We even end with Kandi and Todd. So I don't know. She wants to do a counseling session, and he says, let's do a session. There's a lot of meat there. What do we think about this beginning part of the episode? Erica.
All right. Well.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Sorry.
You're fine.
Well, two things. One, on Gregg's thing, I thought that Gregg was kind of like, you know what? I'm over cancer. I have an open marriage. I'm going to go with whatever Nene says because I'm not rocking my boat. That's what I thought of Gregg in the beginning, but very nice and accurate. But it's like, I don't think he's going to stand up to Nene either way. And for Todd, I feel like Todd has had some sort of some issues building over the season, over the entire season, and he hasn't quite popped off. I think like he wants to, or really. So I think that the whole Kandi's going to be gone for 10 weeks. But the baby is going to be delivered in 7 weeks seems crazy. And it just reminds me of her daughter said years ago, why you going to have another baby? You can't keep the ones that you got. You're doing too much. And she said that like 2-3 seasons ago. And it still rings true every time they get into it, I think.
Yeah, I was happy to see Nene and Gregg kind of rekindling their relationship almost because it was really rocky during his cancer stint or whatever. But with Kandi and Todd, it's a lot. When she said that she has to be out there for 10 weeks and the baby was coming at 7, I was like, now how do you think you're going to do that? How? Because Todd, I do not see him taking care of a baby by himself. Or even with the nanny, like it still wouldn't like feel right to me. I don't know. I couldn't see it. I don't know how she's going to juggle that, but.
Exactly, because we all know Todd likes to go to the strip club. So now what?
He's like, I'm gonna act like I'm mad, but now I know I can go to the club. I was kidding.
Yeah, exactly. But I got my singles in my pockets.
Let me just say, since we're quarantined at home, This is probably the longest Candy's ever been with the kids right now because she's stuck at home with them. So I'm actually
For
happy
real.
for her family. They're probably getting in some quality time. We should be seeing a TikTok anytime soon now, right about now. I don't know
Exactly.
if y'all are on TikTok, but everyone's at home doing the dance. It's the Wiz Khalifa song. If y'all don't know it, log on to TikTok. Follow me on Hollywood Leanne at TikTok, actually.
All right, all right.
I'm gonna plug the TikTok.
All right, all right. I'll make a TikTok this week, people.
Yes, it's
Mm.
actually, I get lost for hours.
Sweet.
It's really ridiculous. I feel so old on it. But yeah, I'm sure we're gonna see some more of this. As I said, we're gonna talk about it throughout the episode. So
Mhm.
Nene and Cynthia seemed cool during their little animal print session. Cynthia's playing the little actress. She's like, "Show me what you're gonna do," and she's like, "Well, I'm the HBIC, and I gotta say, she actually did a pretty good job. Like, I thought it was tasteful, it was funny, it was shady, but." I just couldn't stop thinking about what's happening in like the confessionals and via real time. Like it seems all like nice on the show, like they're having a good time, but they're not really in a good place. Like, you know what I mean?
Right.
Like, even in
Right.
the confessional, Nini's calling her a punk and stuff, but they're having a good time in the store. So I don't really know where really Cynthia and Nini are right now. But all I know that it was nice to see them in this scene together like this.
Yes,
So
yes, it was very nice to see them in this scene together, having fun, wearing tacky ass outfits and tacky wigs. I was like, you steal her wig and her outfit. I mean, it was,
Right.
and I like leopard print, but sometimes it's too much. I was like, it's too much. It's too much. It's too busy. But it
it's
was
got to be
fun.
like on occasion or something. I don't know. Leopard, animal print in general, it's tricky.
I'm
Exactly.
telling
I
you, it's
agree.
when they get to be that age because my mom is around their age and she loves some leopard. And I'm like, sis, you're gonna have to settle down on the leopard, okay? I think it's when you get around that age.
I'm
All
telling
right,
you, I
well,
don't know what it is.
exactly. It's like leopard can be an accent piece, like a purse or something. You
Mm-hmm.
don't have to have a whole
Right.
big old booty jogging suit. Like I was like, it's a
Mm-hmm.
little bit much. And then it was something about her blonde wig and Nene's blonde wig back in the back. I was like, Lord, Porsha, get them some nude hair or whatever that hair is you selling, because I don't know.
I
But
love that
but
Portia did a drive by. She's like, "What's happening here?" I'm a little bit jealous. I'm like, "You seem a
Mm-hmm.
little stalkerish, rolling up on the
I
side."
know, but it was cute though. I like to
It
see
was
all of them
cute.
like laughing and getting along though. But it was kind of like, wait a minute, huh?
Mm-hmm.
I know. I just
It
can't
was
help.
cute.
Like Real Housewives just has evolved so much. Like if we go back to season 1 of Real Housewives of Atlanta, Nene is the reason we have reunions. Real
Right.
Housewives of Atlanta season 1 was playing, and Nene called Annie and was like, "I want a reunion. We need to get together and talk about what's happening. Like, I have stuff to say." I don't know if she exactly said reunion, but that's exactly like is what we have now. So I just can't help but think of what's happening in real life because I brought that up because it's just an interesting evolvement of what we're seeing now. Like now, the ladies can't even wait to the reunion. They're just on social media and they're expressing themselves all the time. It makes their way into the storyline. And that's how we saw the little text and all the little Instagram stories that Kenya was doing shady Nene. This is kind of like the meat of the evidence of like why they're like maybe not in a good place because Nene keeps saying, "I haven't done anything to Kenya. Like, I don't know why she's being so ridiculous with me." But
Right.
it's, I don't know. I'm just gonna say this for the Kenya haters. You guys are not gonna like this because in my notes, it just seems like Kenya is in a lot of pain, but she just still has time to be so nasty.
Mm-hmm.
I agree. However, I mean, I think that it's also partially who Kenya is, because every time they show flashbacks, they can go all the way from day one to Phaedra and Apollo. Like she's been
Yeah.
messy from the very beginning. So now it's like we can't expect her to turn over to change who she is. And it just seems like now that she's going through a darker time, she's turning into a darker person, honestly.
At this point, it's just like immature. It just makes her seem so immature. Cause like You don't have to bring anyone up on Instagram. You could have just ignored that question. You get so many questions on Instagram. You could have ignored that question, but you chose to answer that one or even put her
But
name at the
okay,
end of
so
it.
I don't know. Like you could be shady, whatever. It's freaking Instagram. But like when we get together,
Mhm.
you still got to be petty in real life. I don't know. It just seems like the reason I bring this up is because we even see Kenya throughout the entire scene talk to a bunch of different people about what's happening in her life instead of like her friends,
Mhm.
which makes me say, girl, where are your friends? But whatever. She says she doesn't want a nasty divorce, but then she says, like, I don't want Mark to be the one that takes care of Brooklyn if she dies. She says she has more assets than him. She says she makes a lot more money than him. I'm like, this is all just little things to piss somebody off. Like, if we were breaking up and you were saying all those things about me on camera, I'm going to be mad, especially it involves my daughter. And something also to think about, guys. Why did she say Aunt Lisa? What happened to Aunt Lori? Do you guys remember Aunt
Exactly,
Lori?
Aunt Lori. I do remember her.
Like, what happened? Kenya, I don't get you once again.
But maybe Aunt Lori might be older because Aunt Lori was from the first couple seasons, right? When Kenya first came on. So maybe Aunt Lori is older to raise Brooklyn. I don't know, but yeah, I remember she did have another aunt though that she was like,
Aunt
"This is my
Lori
mom."
raised Kenya.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm surprised, but Aunt Lisa seemed nice though. It was nice to meet her.
So that was her aunt at the very
Mhm.
end. Like, she's pretty. She seems like she's in a good space. How come we've never seen anything about her?
I know. That's what I'm saying. It was nice to meet her.
Yeah.
We ain't never seen her. Who is she? But she looked cool. She
I don't
seems
know. I
nice.
did I did go on Twitter and
Mhm.
they showed like a picture that Kenya posted of her and her aunt Lisa, who she quoted as someone who grew up like a sister to her or something. I don't know. Like, I don't, maybe I
Well,
shouldn't just go too hard on Kenya right now.
well,
I don't
yeah.
want
Well,
to piss everybody off.
Here's the one thing I will say about that is that if you remember, Kenya was raised by her grandmother. So depending on the age of her other aunts and uncles, she probably is closer in age to some more than others. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
like,
Mhm.
so maybe Aunt Lisa is closer to her age, and that's why they grew up more so like sisters as opposed to Lori, who was more like a mother figure to her because she was probably older. I would guess. You know.
Yeah. Because Lori was
Right.
involved heavily raising Kenya. She has said it a bunch of times.
Yeah, definitely, definitely, for sure.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like we're gonna get into Kenya a little bit more, you guys. So just stick with us. We're trying to be as objective as possible,
And
but she gives us reason to like, I don't know,
she
you know what I
does.
mean?
Although I will say this though. Like Mark was such a jerk. I was like, yeah, girl, burn down that house and leave him nothing, bitch. Nothing. Leave him nothing. Because
Oh
he was
yeah,
so mean to her. I was like, yeah, he ain't got no money. He used you to get on the show, get free marketing for his restaurants. So all of this stuff towards Mark, I was like, he was a jerk to her like every time he was on film. So I don't hold that against her for
absolutely.
sure.
We
Yeah.
are not Team Mark around here. Kenya fans, come back in the chat now. Come back.
I know. Come back.
Really,
Come
come
on. Come back.
back.
Right.
You guys, we do not like Mark. He's such a jerk. He's treated her like crap. But I do want to say, I don't think he's like poor. You know what I mean? To own a restaurant in New York City,
No,
like,
he's
Yeah.
not poor at all, but I don't mind her throwing shade. That's all I'm saying. I'm not saying it's
okay.
accurate, but I'm like, go ahead, girl.
Yeah.
Get your little
She might
digs
have
in.
The
deserved that
shade
little
doesn't have to be
shade.
true. Okay, all right,
Exactly,
fine.
exactly,
Mhm.
exactly.
I see you guys are watching in the live chat. Please say hi to us. We're at home together with you guys. And honestly, we love you guys. And we're doing this for you guys. We want you to just like have something to look forward to. We want to keep it as normal as possible. We're just trying to have fun with you guys. We're watching at home just like fans, except we're just not in the big fancy studio anymore. But you know what? This is what we love doing.
This
So
is the real,
what
real. Exactly. I was like,
exactly.
forget contacts. Give me the
Right.
glasses, baby.
Oh,
Mhm.
if we didn't like this, girl, we'd be gone, okay? But it doesn't matter. Like we
Period.
want it. We want it. We're here to talk about it with you guys. So please say hi in the live chat. I see Jean's welcome. Hello, Gene. I see you, boo. Thank you for the love. Jump in and say hi, guys. That's all
Hey,
I'm saying.
hey.
Um, Candy's trying to find a
Hey.
balance with work, and I feel it. Ace FaceTimes her crying. Thank God for the FaceTime. You know what I mean? Eva's finally not pregnant.
Seriously.
Thank God. And the baby's very cute. His name is Maverick. And Cynthia's giving the tea to Eva. And she's saying, Kenya's been really shady and Nene really tried and me and Kenya are good again. What do we think about this whole thing? I feel like Cynthia and Eva's friendship, it doesn't go too deep for me. You know what I mean? It just seemed very surface. Let me give you just the rundown on what's happening. I don't. The reason I say that is because I just like forget that Eva's on the show. I don't really see what she's bringing other than me just giving you the tea. So
Okay,
it's a jumping off
here's what.
point. Go ahead.
Yes, here's what I will say because I know Eva and Nene are having their whole little beef right now as well. Anyway, about whether Eva deserved to be on the show. We do have to look at it. She's been pregnant for 2 damn seasons at least. So
I'm
that's how it is.
saying.
Every time you're pregnant, you're like you're done for the season. We've seen it in
Hmm.
like so many other shows. So I think for her to have babies back to back and now she can't drink, she can't do nothing, she can't fly. I mean, so maybe it'll be better once she's not pregnant. I mean, she was interesting when she wasn't pregnant, but I mean, come on.
I still don't feel like even when she's not pregnant, she will be like that big of an asset to the show because even when
We
she
still
talks
don't know
behind
where
people's
she
backs,
lives.
right? Even when she talks behind people's backs and then they confront her up front, she like complete. It's not even an argument because she just denies it. So
His
it's
big,
like
Yeah,
this
you're
beautiful
isn't
right. That's
eyes.
even
true.
right. It's like this isn't even worth. I don't know. I agree with Nene. If anybody could be on the show, I'm sorry, Eva. I like you, but you would be gone, sis. It's just like nothing is. Where's Shamari at? I need Shamari back. I need somebody to
Thank
Yes.
bring some
you.
Yes. Eva
substance.
Eva was one of those people who was really good in the confessionals. Like she had some real cute comebacks in the confessionals,
Hmm.
but then when she was taping, she wasn't saying nothing. She
You
wasn't
got to
doing
be able
anything.
to
So
play
yeah,
on
I
and
agree
off
with
the
you,
field,
Danny.
boo boo.
Exactly. I totally
Right.
agree with you, Danny, for sure. I mean,
I
I
feel
love her
like
too, but she could, yeah, we could lose her and not miss her for real.
I don't know. Like even like you brought up a good point. We've said this 1,000 times on the show. If you've watched our show forever, I feel like Eva's been pregnant for 20 years. You know what I mean?
Yes.
So maybe we'll get something soon. I don't know. She did call Nene a wide neck on someone's podcast.
Why back? Yeah.
Thank you, Erica, for bringing that up. That was amazing. But it's like we need that on the show now. So I don't know. You guys, like if you follow It's Bravo Bitch podcast on Instagram, you're gonna see some tea that I posted. The Real Housewives of Atlanta reunion is happening via Zoom. What you're seeing
No,
what you're
no,
seeing like
no.
this,
I heard that. Please don't let that be true. I was just
how can
fighting it.
this
No,
work?
no, I
There,
can't.
there's
I
only three
can't.
of us right now. Can you imagine 12 people talking at the same time? That's a lot of damn people.
No,
Right.
I'm praying that is not the truth. I'm like, yeah, I don't know. That's
Can you
I'm not gonna watch it.
imagine can you imagine Nene and Kenya going off on each other via Zoom? Like, let me tell you
Mm-mm.
something. Let me tell you something.
Wait a minute, time out. How they gonna walk off? Why? Like, what are they gonna do? Nobody can
Like, I
talk.
don't
Right.
know,
Crazy. Like, oh, it's
Like,
not the same if you can't walk off. If you
I
can't,
don't
where's
know.
she going? Where is she leaving the set? We need all that. When is she coming to set? When's she gonna be on set? Like, I don't know. Are they gonna film in people's individual homes? Like, bring me some snacks. Like, what are they gonna do?
Yeah, they're gonna all be at home just like all of us because everybody's at home, whether you're a celebrity or not. Everybody's at home. That's why everybody's going on Instagram Live because everybody's bored at home. Stop going on
Hmm.
Instagram Live. Every reality star in the
Please.
world just going on Instagram Live. Like y'all are getting on my nerves, and it's revealing to most of us that some of you guys are really just not that interesting unless you have a bunch of people around you and you have a, you know what I mean? Like I really do
Exactly.
not want to hear you right now.
Yeah, some of
Yes.
you need a producer. You need your producer to tell you. You need to be
Right.
produced, babe. You can't just be talking.
Exactly. Well, let's get into Portia's having an event, and everybody shows up. Nene comes, and Portia's like, "Yay, Nene came to my event." Nene came loaded and she's like, yeah, the blog's been saying that Mark had
Mhm.
multiple affairs. You know what I mean? Like Nene's like, bitch, I am done playing with your ass. I'm gonna bring the tea, even if it's just a little blog. Like I'm gonna bring it over.
Exactly, exactly. Nene came
Right.
in there like, today I got time, cuz.
Mhm.
I got all the time. Candy's
Right.
back in
Nene was not
town,
playing.
and Todd is on Candy, just like he's on her. He's mad at her, you know. But she comes to the event. Tanya shares. It's a really nice event, you know. I kind of got a. This was. I was thinking this is just a really filler episode, but then when they got to this part, it was nice to see a different side to everyone. But it just, of course, it was always like a Sour Patch Kid. Got a little sour at the
Mhm.
end, you know what I mean? It was sweet and sour because, of course, Kenyon's involved. You know, Tanya shared, Marlo shared, Shamia shared, and then Kenya jumps in, shades Portia, and now they're best friends.
Mhm.
I don't get
Yeah.
this. Let's talk about this.
Okay, first of all, let's talk about Portia's face
That took me
when
off guard. I was
Shamia
like,
said, I called Kenya first. Like, Portia was like, did she
right.
have Kenya's number? How did this happen?
What you
I
said,
brought you
huh?
to the show. Who you calling? Like, oh my gosh, that was
Right.
so next level. I was like, wait, what's going on here?
I did not get it.
Yeah. Me either. I'm like, is that not your best friend? I'm confused. Why would Kenya be called? But whatever. I don't know.
I know. I was like,
What?
I didn't even know you had Kenya's number. Like, out of everybody, you called Kenya. Like, you don't know nobody else on the show. Like, that was so weird to me.
And
It
Kenya's
seemed,
like, I don't know where Portia was. Maybe she was busy, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, what is this?
Right.
yes, that was insane.
I'm
I
like,
mean,
didn't everyone
yeah,
just get done crying, like sharing these personal stories? And Kenya comes in with the shade. I'm like, girl, you just cannot help yourself.
yeah, that was really weird. I was like, why is she
Yeah.
doing this? It seemed really just out of place. I really like the fact that Portia caught it but didn't let it ruffle her. You know what I'm saying? Like, Portia's come a
Mhm.
long way over the years. Like, Portia is, after Nene, Portia is the head be in charge. After Nene, they going toe to toe because Portia was like, okay, this is my moment. I see the shade, but I'm gonna let it go. So I thought
Exactly.
she handled it great, but it was crazy. It was really crazy.
What did you
I'm trying
guys
to
think
have that
about the
Portia type growth.
stories? What did you guys think about the stories that were told? You know, like Marlo and Tanya. It was nice to see a different side. And, you know, Marlo brought up her stuff, but I like that she brought it back to being a Muntie because that's what's
Mhm.
been really nice to see lately is how she's taking care of her nephews. So, you know what I mean? What did you guys think
Yeah.
about the stories?
Marlo made me tear up a little bit because I feel for her, and I feel like everyone has always wondered, like, why doesn't Marlo have a family, or does she want a family? You know, because it always seems like Marlo's one of those people that's just very independent and like, you know. So
Yeah.
seeing her cry about not having a family made me cry. And Tanya's story
Ex-
was also really sad to me.
Yeah.
exactly.
I agree. I thought it was really nice. I think this whole season has honestly been about Marlo reinventing herself and showing us more of who she is. Because I think she really is serious about wanting a peach this year or next year or whatever. So it's nice to see her kind of reveal that because there is sort of this whole persona that she's just a hardcore single trying to, sleep with these old white men or whatever the rumors are out about her. So it's nice to see, kind of some of her struggles too. So I thought that was really nice.
Mhm.
And Tanya, it was good to see kind of what she had been through. And we had kind of heard a little bit about it between her and Kenya, but it was nice to kind of really hear her speak on it.
Did
Mhm.
we I know we're back now. I don't know if we had a technical issue or not. Uh some people are saying that the stream ended, but I think we're okay. No one has said anything to me, so we're just going to keep going. Uh
We're just gonna keep
hi.
talking, but hey.
I see we're live and that there's some of you guys watching, so say hi. Um I don't know. I guess we're fine. Let's see. So now we're talking to like Aunt Lisa, and Kenya's venting her feelings, and I get what she's saying, but I just couldn't help but like I'm always coming out of this scene. I'm not fully invested always because it always triggers my mind to think about something else. Like when I was watching it, I was just like, this is a scene that you could have had with one of the girls. Like, how come you don't open up to the girls like you're talking? You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. Like, even the beginning scene when she was talking to who was she talking to at the beginning? Was that a lawyer? Her lawyer?
Yeah, yeah. And that was
Yeah.
interesting too, because it wasn't her divorce lawyer, it was her estate planning lawyer, which was the same one she went to, like, I don't know, a few weeks ago.
I don't know. I just feel like
Mm-hmm.
when you talk to those kind of people, you already have set like what you want to do. You know what I
Right.
mean? Because
Mm-hmm.
those people, you're charging those people. You're paying those people by the hour. So by the time it got to
Mm-hmm.
Aunt Lisa, I was just like, here we go, like another really, really personal scene. I know Aunt Lisa's family, but we've never seen her before. So I don't know. I just feel like she could have vented some of these feelings to the girls so they could be more involved in her life and see what she's dealing with.
But the truth is,
Maybe that's
who
yeah.
is she really tight with? She's not really tight with. She and Cynthia were the tightest, and they're not right. And I feel like her relationship with Kandi is like Cynthia and Eva. It's like halfway real, halfway fake. So maybe she doesn't have anyone. Maybe she doesn't have any
Mhm.
friends, real friends on the show.
Danny?
Maybe she just doesn't want them in her business like that because it got brought up when they were in Greece. You know what I mean? So it's just like, okay, I'll keep my information to
Right.
my
That's true.
loved ones that I know aren't gonna, throw it in my face whenever they get mad.
Got
Even though
it.
she does that to
Well,
people, but still.
exactly. She's probably thinking that because I'm like, I do that all the time. So maybe you know what I mean?
Hmm.
Right. I mean, maybe we'll see
Right.
Aunt Lisa more like we see Lauren, because Portia does a lot of that with her sister Lauren, but we've seen Lauren forever, so it's not like brand new. So maybe, Kenya
Hmm.
will incorporate this new auntie a little bit more. I don't know.
I don't know. Uh, it just kind of made me think. I was like, I said it already. It was just like, why haven't we really heard or seen Aunt Lisa before? Because we've gotten pretty deep into
Yeah.
Kenya's family. You know what I mean? So I don't know.
Yeah, I agree. I
Hmm.
agree. She kind of popped up real quick.
She really did just pop up. Todd's tripping about the sex scene, and she's never home. But to me, that she's never home is business as usual. Like Erica brought up earlier, like this is something consistently we've seen on the show forever. Like Kandi is always busy as like AF, And Todd
Hmm.
says he always feels like he has something to prove, and he doesn't want to be Mr. Business. He wants to be like a TV production person, but that didn't really make sense to me financially. But I guess like money just doesn't really like get happiness. Can I try it? Can I try that out?
Yeah.
I don't know, but Kandi did
Right. Can I
say
test it out for myself?
Kenny was like, "You said you wanted to be a producer, you never went through with it, so I don't know what to tell you." So there's something there, but it started with the sex scene. I can't wait to see this.
Yeah, me too.
I heard it is intense though, just through like Twitter talk and everything. I don't know. What do you
Oh,
think
okay.
about this business as usual with Candy never being home and Todd being upset with her? Because this is kind of like what the episode ends on. So there's a lot to discuss here.
Yeah, I mean, I think
Mhm.
it's interesting because Todd has probably always felt insecure ever since Mama
Joyce.
Mama Joyce, thank you. I was about to
Mhm.
say Mama D, but that's a different show. So I was like, yeah, Mama
Hilarious.
Joyce, ever since Mama Joyce called him broke or whatever, you know what I'm saying? He's always felt like, because he met her when they were taping that episode in Africa. So it's like, okay, I was working on the show with you and you pulled me up, not from poverty, but from less than. And he's probably always felt some kind of way. So even though it came from him, he probably does feel that pressure. So that part probably is true.
Annie.
Yeah, Candy is about her money. She's about that check. She's always going to be booked and busy. So I don't think she's going to slow down Kandi's never been a person to just like slow down like that. She does not play about her money. So, I mean, I think she's just gonna have to deal with it. They'll have to go to counseling. She'll maybe have to put in a little bit more time with the family, but I don't see her slowing down. I don't see her letting anything really slow her down.
What do you
Yeah,
guys
I
think about
agree.
the sex scene thing? What do you guys think about the sex scene thing? Like, like if you were in a relationship and that person, was gonna have something done sexually on camera, like would you feel okay with it? Vice versa. And like what do you think about this whole thing with Todd tripping about the sex scene? I think it's kind of cute that he is tripping about the sex scene. I would feel a certain way on it. Would just depend on it. Like I would have to see it, and if it was like really intense, then maybe I would feel a little jealous. But it would just have to depend on the scene. You know what I mean? If it was
Yes.
just, I don't know. It depends on the content. But
Yeah,
I don't know. You shouldn't be
yeah.
that mad. It's the arts.
Yeah, I mean, it's a
Yes.
toss up because on one hand, I totally agree. It's the content and it's the relationship. But as actors, we all know that there are some sex scenes that are just acting, and then there's some people who have left their partners for people they were in movies with.
Oh,
So you don't
Right.
you don't
Right.
really know. It could go either way. So you gotta, just trust in your relationship and like let it ride off you. You can't really trip about it because it's their profession. But these things
Yeah.
do happen. So it's a reasonable fear for sure.
You can't
exactly.
trip, but I might trip. I'm not even gonna lie. I might trip a little bit. Like, first of all, you need to describe to me what happened. What happened in this little scene before I see it and get really mad. But yeah.
Yeah, I
And
mean,
they're like,
I might have to
maybe
check
they only
somebody
show a
at the
tiny
cast
little
party or
part.
something. Exactly. I might have to check that hoe at the cast party. Be like, look, now that's my man.
Mm-hmm.
Be like, the scene ended with the robes falling. What happened when you guys cut?
Exactly.
Were you guys still
Right.
touching each other? Did you guys go out to eat that day? Like, what happened?
Right.
Did you guys talk about your private parts? Like, did you look at his penis? As an actor, I can tell you, I did a YouTube comedy skit because, as you know, I don't have a six pack. So if I'm gonna be naked and there's a camera involved, it's gonna be a comedy. So I did do like a little nude comedy sketch on YouTube. It's called Boob Warmer if you want to see it. But it's
All
like
right.
I'm
Leave
full
leave
frontal.
the
I'm full
link. Leave the link. Leave the
Oh, but
link.
I only want to say, like, I really did have to get naked, and all they did was put on like a tiny little flesh sock, but you could still see everything. Like, it
Oh.
was, yeah, it was, yeah.
Really?
You could still see
Wow.
everything. And there's like really nothing glamorous. Like you really, unless you are a porn star where your body maintenance is like on point, like they had
Mm-hmm.
to like put little body makeup on certain parts of like everywhere and stuff. You know what I mean? Like
Oh my
Mm-hmm.
gosh.
I'm
That's
not naked on
scary.
camera all the time. So yeah, movie magic. I'm really interested to see Kandi's scene. I want to see
I am
this.
too. I am too,
Mm-hmm.
for sure, for sure.
I don't know.
It's
I do
gonna
root for Todd and Kandi. I don't want them to not be together. I feel like they've come a long way and they've had a lot of adversity in their relationship. So I actually
be.
root
Mm-hmm.
for them. I like them. I like their family. I feel like because of what's happening right now, they're probably having like the best family quality time they could have in a long time.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, even though that they have their issues, they do seem pretty solid, honestly. Like, even though he was upset about this, it wasn't like deal breaking and it wasn't so, like you can kind of get the vibe when you see certain couples that you can tell when they're about to break up. And so, even though they're having their issues, I still feel like they're pretty tight.
Danny?
Mm-hmm. And at the end, it was like, I love you, even though I'm still about to go do this event real quick. But
Right.
I do love you.
She's like, I love you. I'll holler when I get back, boo. I got you.
I'd be like,
Right.
I'll be back in a couple hours and I'll sit on your face.
Exactly.
Let's talk about
Mm-hmm.
Amen.
the wrapping up of the episode. We're coming down to the last couple minutes. So, um, I want you guys to take it over and just talk about the overall thoughts of the episode. Obviously, Nene is she's playing the role of a housewife again. You know what I mean? Kenya's
Yeah.
going
Mhm.
through a bunch of stuff, and the girls have tried to be there for her, but I don't really feel like she's been that receptive, and we're seeing that play out now. The reunion is coming up. What do we think about what is going to end up transcribing into this thing? While I pull up the Twitter and see what they're saying on Twitter, so we could talk about that as well. What do you guys think is going to translate
Mhm.
into this reunion based on what we're seeing right now?
Go
Go
ahead,
ahead.
Danny.
Oh,
I was
I'm
saying
not
Danny.
even.
let Danny go first.
Yeah, honestly, I'm not even sure, but I don't want to talk too much about predictions because we haven't done predictions yet. But like, it's looking like maybe Kenya is moving his stuff out, so maybe she's gonna give us a major update on what's happening. Because remember, we did have in news and gossip a video of her and Mark like skipping down the Georgia, whatever, this
Oh,
place
right.
in
I
Airport.
remember
Georgia.
that. Yeah.
Yeah,
The
so
airport.
I don't know. Yeah, I need to see what is really happening. So hopefully she'll let us know like some updates on it.
It's interesting because I feel like now that we're coming down to the end, as we always do in every season, people already know like your job is on the line, so you got to bring it. So I feel like okay, we had a few little teasers about Kandi and Todd, but nothing is solid. Although Kandi does seem to be a powerhouse on the show, so I feel like now she's trying to get in her little stuff so she can seem like she's gonna have something interesting. Not saying that she's not interesting. I love you, Kandi, but you know. And so that was interesting to see. I think it'll be interesting to see what happens where Portia's finally with Dennis or whatever. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so how she's gonna decide to wrap that up. I think Kenya has been messy enough that she's obviously gonna come back. And I think Nene has made enough kind of amends with people that I don't feel like she's on the chopping block anymore, to be honest.
The
I feel
whole
like,
season has been about Nene making up with everybody, and
yeah, she's
Mhm.
been kissing booty so she can stay on. And I feel like
I'm
it's
not even
working.
mad at her for it.
I'm not mad because she's like
She did a good job.
exactly
She's
everybody
going
needs to
live
check.
on freaking Instagram with Kim Bieberman. Like she's going live on,
Yes.
you know what I mean? Like she's working. She's working the crowd, baby.
She's like
Y'all, it's the comeback
exactly,
of Nene. I've been saying this for
exactly,
weeks.
exactly, exactly. Because halfway in, Andy and Kenya was like, she's out. And I think she pulled it back. I think she
Mhm.
pulled it back. So it'll be
Nene's
interesting. I
like,
think
bitch,
she'll
I
back.
ain't going
Don't ever count her
anywhere.
out.
And I think
Exactly.
Cynthia said something that was on point. She was like, I'm gonna take this
To the
speech to the
grave.
coffin. To the
To the
coffin.
grave. Yes, yes,
You know what I
yes.
mean? Like she's not gonna go anywhere. I'm
She
proud of
meant
Nene for
that.
bringing it back.
I am
Um,
too.
I'm gonna read this tweet that somebody
Mhm.
said just because I want to give the Kenya stands a little meat, and they said all Nene has done this season is try to make up with enemies. Kenya needs more credit for carrying this whole season. Uh, and then Big Duke Energy says, no shade. I don't think Mark is going to come for that rectangle house in the ditch or that edge control. Kenya,
No
you
shade.
good.
I couldn't even
Thank
hear
you,
it because
Duke
it
of
was
Shade.
busting out.
And then Diamond Daily says, these vintage Kenya receipts. Okay, producers. There was a lot of flashbacks in tonight's episodes,
It was
y'all.
a lot. I was like, wait, is that
Mhm.
Apollo in the corner? Like, oh my gosh.
I'm telling
Right.
you.
Yes. They were
I
doing it
don't
with the
like
flashback.
I don't think they're really happy with her because they were really like, you can't say anything because we will bring up the mofo receipts, y'all.
Yes. Yes.
Right.
Yes. They
What did
brought
you
the
guys
pain
think?
tonight.
What did you guys think about Kenya saying that she's not allowed to speak to Mark's parents?
Wow.
That was
Like,
weird. Like,
I was surprised that she even revealed that. I was like, she is trying to stay on this show forever because that was that was really deep. I was like, dang, dude, that's kind of crazy. That's really crazy, I think.
yeah. I think it
All
says a
right,
lot
so
about the relationship and his
yeah,
intentions. Yeah.
Yeah.
I,
Like, how
I was
deep is your relationship really? Yeah.
I was gonna say
Right.
let's be on Kenya's side right now and just be like,
Mhm.
let's give her the benefit and be like, oh my God, Mark said like you're not allowed to talk to my parents. Like, what kind of controlling, crazy mother effer are you? This is some sleeping with the enemy shit right here.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, it sounds so crazy that it does make you kind of wonder, like, okay, did she really know everything about the ex-wives and the other kids, and how much of a secret life did he really even have with her? Because you can't
Mhm.
talk to my parents. Like, wait, but I had your baby though? Like, no, that is ridiculous.
Right.
And
Mhm.
what do you think about Eva? Because she's not pregnant anymore. I feel like she's caught on to what we were talking about. So she's like, I'm gonna bring it now. Who the podcast? Bring them out. And she's like, Nene, you're a wide neck. You better be careful because now that we're doing the reunion virtually and I don't have to be in front of you, I'm gonna bring it on, girl. You're a wide neck. You're
Mhm.
a wide receiver. I'm like, Eva, you're talking all that shit, but girl, we're at home. It's so
Right.
coincidental now.
Eva, all
I
I can
agree with
say,
you.
Chica, is I hope for the reunion you do a song, you do a dance, you do a routine, because you haven't been doing anything all season. And the reunion time is when people get the boot. That's when you know for sure whether you gonna stay or go half the time. And
Thank
if
you.
Mhm.
you don't pop off, you probably will be the the weakest link. So I hope
I think it,
let him bring it.
Y-
we're all at home. Even Watch What Happens
Yeah, I
Live
already
is
know
being
she's
done
about
in
to
this
show
format.
out.
Yeah.
What's up? What up, Danny? Say that again, Danny.
I said I already know she's about to show out. She's about to show
Oh.
out at this reunion.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
she's not in person. She ain't fooling anybody.
Mhm.
I feel like, because we're all at home, like even Andy Cohen is doing the Zoom, like, meeting, like I really feel like this reunion is going to happen this way. Tonight on Watch It Happens Live, Portia's on with him via Zoom, and she's wearing the Versace
Mhm.
outfit that Margaret pulled, I mean, ah!
Danielle.
No,
Danielle.
yes,
Nene.
Danielle.
Danielle.
Oh, okay.
No, Danielle.
Mhm.
Portia is wearing the same outfit that Danielle wore in the Jersey episode where she pulled Margaret's hair and she pulled her to the
Oh, right,
Mhm.
ground.
right. Yeah. That's true. That's true.
So look out for that. And I just want to read this last tweet that says people are really quick to clown Todd when he had a whole six-figure career before he married Kandi. The average household income is 60K. So before he met her, he was making more than that. Who do you think you are? Who do you think are running these businesses? Okay, okay, never mind. Sorry, that tweet was dumb.
I
I'm
mean, I think
like,
what he's trying to say is Todd was making six figures. We shouldn't be hating on him.
yeah, and
And
I
six
get that,
figures
but
is good money, but it's not candy money. But it's still good
Mhm.
money. It's still good
it
money.
is
Yeah,
good
I mean,
money. But
I'd be happy. I'd be
also,
happy with six figures.
me
I
too.
want to know what, like, you got to be like, producer is such a vague, like, we're all producers. I'm a producer. There's a
Mhm.
producer running a show right now. Like, we're not making six figures, let me tell you right now. So I feel
Mhm.
like it's a certain type of producer that's making six figures. And I'm not sure Todd was making six figures. I'm not sure that's accurate because he was doing production for Housewives. You're telling me those guys that are wrangling the Housewives are making six figures? Maybe the
Plus,
one that's getting,
Yeah.
Plus, remember also this was six figures back in the day. This wasn't, you know what I'm saying? Like back, like
Mhm.
maybe some of those producers might be making six figures now that the show's
yeah.
hot. But you know what I'm
Maybe the
saying?
one
This
that
was
got beat up by
early,
Nene is making six figures.
yeah, but this is early Atlanta days. So I don't even think Todd was making six figures over there, toting cameras in
Maybe he had
Africa.
other
But that's just me.
businesses. Yeah.
I
Okay.
don't
Mhm.
know. I just feel like we've been through a lot with Todd and Kenny, but at the end of the day, I want them to succeed.
Me
You
too.
know what I mean? And there's just a lot there. They've been through a lot. I want Mama Joyce to come back. The OLG, I saw a picture of Will Ferrell jogging with the old lady gang t-shirt
Mhm.
on. So amazing. Um,
That's cool.
I don't know. We're going to be here next week talking about Atlanta. We're coming towards the end of the season. Um, the reunion is going to happen like we've talked about it. It's going to happen soon. So make sure to stick with us. We're going to have all the hottest gossip. Make sure to follow It's Bravo Bitch podcast on Instagram, at Hollywood Leon, on YouTube. New content coming on the channel. Girls, where can we find you? What do you want to promote? It was a good show. It was nice to see you guys. I miss you.
Mhm.
I miss you
I miss
too.
you guys. You guys can find me on Instagram at the Danny B.
All right, you guys, you can follow me on all of my social media at Erica. That's Erika as in door Edwards.
And OK Drew will be back with us next Sunday. I promise. She's fine. She's just a little, I don't know what's wrong. She just said she was feeling under the weather, but she's fine. She's been quarantined. We're gonna send her some recovery vibes. I'm gonna text her after this, actually. But we love you guys. Stay safe, stay healthy out there, and we'll see you next
Wash your
Sunday.
hands.
Wash your
Right.
hands.
Exactly.
Wash your wig too. Wash your wig.
Right.
All of that.
Bye,
Ciao
y'all.
for now, folks. Bye.
Our founder, Keven Undergaro, and me, Maria Menounos, would like to thank you for tuning in to AfterBuzz TV. Remember, we're not just the first, we're the biggest in the world, and we're the only destination for all your favorite TV shows. Whatever you crave, we've got it. So go to AfterBuzzTV.com and check out our lineup. Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.